hopefully you enjoy the setting that I've created for you and creating a nice calming environment. We're going to just use very basic tools. Today I have a mat on the floor with a beach towel on top. If you don't have a mat, just use a beach towel. Find a comfortable spot in your house that can fit yourself in a towel. And then we'll also be using a foam roller, and we'll also have a block and an MB1 ball. If you don't have a block, don't worry. Just go ahead and stack some books on top of each other. Make it about 3.5 to 4 inches high. And then just place a nice hand towel underneath it, tuck it in, and you've got yourself a block. We're also our MB1 ball. If you don't have an MB1 ball, it's okay. Go ahead and see if you can grab a tennis ball out of the garage or in a cubby. Those are the tools we're going to use today. So I hope you can gather those up, and we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to work on ourselves from lower leg and work our way up to our head. So hopefully you get some benefits from the class. If you've taken one of our really awesome cardio classes that we've had with some of our great trainers, maybe your body's starting to get stiff or sore. And this is going to be one of those great recovery classes to do to help cut that delayed onset soreness down, maybe in half if that's the case. Also, it's getting you ready for your next workout because we're kneading the muscle and lengthening it indirectly and working out all the hydrogen and metabolic waste. And so your joints are going to have a little bit more range of motion. So you'll find yourself with a little bit more flexibility and maybe just feeling a little lighter in your step. So thank you for being with me today. And let's go ahead and take it down to the mat. We're going to start with our foam roller. Oh, by the way, I'll have a client that comes in and out of this class because he doesn't understand that he can't. So we'll work through it. We're going to take our foam roller and we're going to place it under our right leg, 2 to 3 inches above the ankle. He'll get situated in just a minute. All my movements as I go through them, they're going to be on my exhale. So I may be talking through it, but for you, you're going to take a nice deep breath, and when you get ready to do that movement, you're going to be on the exhale in that movement. My right leg is on the roller about 2 to 3 inches above the ankle. I'm going to put my left leg on top, and then I'm going to lift up from the floor, up on my buttocks, and I'm going to roll to the middle of my leg, nice and slow, and then come back. Go to the middle, nice and slow, and then roll back. Middle, nice and slow, come back. You want to do it 4 times total. When you're done, you're going to stop right in the middle. And then I want you to do ankle circles. 2 to the right, and then you'll go 2 to the left. Then let's pause. You'll take that nice deep breath, lift up, and then you're going to roll from middle to right at the very top of that calf, right behind the knee. 4 rolls total. Then roll right into the middle of that calf, come down. And let's go to those ankle circles, to the right, to the left. And since we're at the calf, let's go ahead and do a span. Span right, span left. It's kind of rocking that calf back and forth, a total of 4 times. Wonderful. So let's go and take it to the left leg. So left leg, 2 to 3 inches behind the ankle. If you're adding the compression, which is the foot on top of the other, if it's too much and unbearable, just take it off. And you can do the same movements without that compression. But if you're needing a little extra compression, let's go ahead and place it on. Get yourselves ready. I'm having to adjust my towel a little bit because it's a little slippery. Up on your bottom, come up and roll to the middle of that leg, and then come down back where you started. 4 rolls on the exhale. When you complete your full 4 rolls, just go ahead and bring your bottom down, and let's do those ankle circles. 2 to the right, to the left. And then we're going to roll from middle of that leg up behind the very top of that calf, right under behind the knee actually. So I'm going to come up and roll. Four rolls, and then you're going to come up right underneath the belly of that calf. Ankle circles, to the right, to the left. And then let's span. back and forth under the calf. 4 times. Good. Let's come on up. We're gonna come on all 4s. My roller's gonna be right in front of me. I'm gonna go ahead and do my tibialis anterior, which is this muscle right in the front of my leg. So this is, for people with shin splints, this is really helpful. So I can flex my toes and I can feel that muscle. It's on the outside. I don't want to roll on my bone. I want to roll on the outside. So you can feel that muscle if you flex your toes or bring your foot up. Once I've found my muscle, I'm going to bring it down on the roller. Hands come to the floor. My left knee's in the back. I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see. And I'm going to roll up and down this anterior tibialis. 4 good rolls. After my 4th roll, I'm going to pause and I'm going to windshield wiper 4 times. Good. The whole time I stand on the muscle and not the bone. I'm going to take it to my left side. So you're thinking, well, what does this muscle do? This muscle is when you lift up your foot to walk, that's what this muscle does. Gives you that dorsiflexion. I'm going to take it to the other side. So let's go ahead and so you can see me. I'm going to go ahead and place my leg on top of the roller. I'm on all 4s here, or all 3s actually. My right leg's in the back, left leg's move more forward, and I'm rolling. Giving myself 4 nice good rolls. And then after that 4th roll, make sure you're in the middle of that muscle. And let's windshield wiper 4 times. And then we're going to come right off. Now we're going to move to our femoris muscle. We're going to work on the VMO and the vastus lateralis. These are our thigh muscles. So we're going to come down and I'm going to place this roller about 1 inch or 2 north of my knee. I'm going to come on my elbows. I'm going to frog out my left leg. So, if you want to know what I mean by frog out, I'm come down on the roller 2 inches north of my knee, frog my other leg out. When I frog it out, it's going to stay there. So let me get back to my side position so you can see what's going on. Once I'm above the knee, I'm going to roll to the middle of my thigh and then roll back. Think about your breathing. You take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, roll and roll back. Nice deep breath in, roll and roll back. So you want to get 4 good rolls in and then come right back to the middle. Pause. Take a nice deep breath in, and on your exhale, do 2 knee bends. Then let's pause. Adjust your elbows because you're going to roll from middle to top of the thigh now. Nice and slow. As you're rolling, we're listening to our body. We're listening to where is it tight and tender and sore. Where's a trigger point, a taunt band. If you've got one of those, then you can stop in that area and sit there for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then do your knee bends. If you're like me and you're going to roll from middle to top, what I would recommend is going right to the top, pausing, nice deep breath, and I'm going to bend my knee twice, really working on some of those hip flexors here. Good. So now I'm going to take it over to my frog leg, my roller. So I'm going to turn this facing you so you can see it. So this is where you are. And I'm going to take my roller out and I'm going to move it over to my frog leg, right where your VMO muscle is, that teardrop muscle on the anterior side of your knee. And I'm going to roll that area, lifting my foot up to get a nice good compression. Let's give it 4 good rolls and then just do 4 kickouts. Remember your breathing technique. If you're having to use your breath because it's really tight or tender, go ahead and take a nice deep breath in, and on your exhale is when you'll do the kickouts or when you'll do the rolls. So that is the VMO, and I'm gonna go ahead and start working on some of my adductors. I'm gonna put it in the center, in between my knee and my groin, and I'm gonna roll back and forth. As I'm rolling, I'm kind of pressing that leg into the roller. I'm gonna get 4 good rolls in, come to the middle, and then I'll do 4 kickouts. And then I'm gonna take a little bit in between the groin and my middle of that adductor, and I'm just gonna roll again. Bearing down on my hip to get that area. 4 good rolls, and then I'm gonna do some kickouts here. All right, I'm gonna come off the roller. Okay, that was my frog leg, my left leg. I'm coming back to my right. So I'm gonna do my vastus lataris. So let me turn this way so you can see it. Actually, I'm gonna turn this way. So I don't really wanna necessarily do my IT band. I just wanna stay on the vastus lataris, that side muscle. So the way I can protect myself and making sure I don't have myself on the IT band, I'm gonna come down on it. Right now, I'm kind of in the TFL region, which is one of those hip flexors. And I'm gonna put my left leg in front, straighten the right leg, use the toes on my right leg and my elbows and my hand, and I'm gonna roll that TFL area. Just go up and down here. About 4 times is good. I'm leaning forward to get off that IT band. If I stay upright, I'll get right on it. And I don't necessarily need to get on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stay here, and then I'm gonna windshield wiper 4 times. Good. And now what we're gonna do, I'm coming off that TFL, and I'm gonna really hit that vastus lataris. Coming down, I'm staying leaned forward to get the muscle. And I'm gonna roll to the middle of that thigh and then come back up. 4 good rolls. After your 4th roll, I'm just gonna pause, and I'll windshield wiper 4 times on the exhale of your breath. When you're complete, you may have to adjust your elbows, and then you'll roll from middle to above the knee. Four good rolls. And then you're gonna come off. Immediately when I sit back, this side of my leg immediately, it's further down. So I'm on my heels, I'm resting on my heels, and this leg over here is immediately, already notice a difference in terms of the flexibility that I'm having. I'm gonna take it over my left side now, and I'm gonna swap everything. We're gonna do it the left side. So we're gonna start that foam roller about 1 inch or 2 above that knee, remember? And then my right leg's gonna be frogged out. So frontal view looks like this, back and forth. I'm gonna turn to my side so you can get a better view. So I'm coming down, and then I'm gonna roll to the middle and come back to above the knee. 4 rolls. After your 4th roll, I want you to come right to the middle. Take a pause, nice deep breath. And then on your exhale, go back to those 2 knee bends. Pause, you may have to adjust your elbows in so you can roll from middle to the top of that thigh. I'm focusing on my breath, and I'm listening to my muscles in my body. Where is it tight and tender? If it's tight and tender and I find a spot on, that's where I will pause. I will pause and rest there for 30 seconds. And then after my 30 seconds, I'll either do 2 knee bends on an exhale, or I may windshield wiper. And then I'll come off that area. I'm gonna roll to the very top where my hip flexors are, put all my weight on it, take a nice deep breath in, and I'll windshield wiper here. 4 windshield wipers. Now remember, once we've got to the top of our thigh, we're gonna come up, replace the foam roller, and put it in our frog leg. So I'm gonna come in the front now, so you can see that. I'm gonna place the roller at an angle. My foot comes up off the floor, and I'm gonna roll my VML muscle. It's that teardrop muscle on the anterior side of your knee. It protects your knee, and it's usually always pretty tender. So I'm gonna roll about 4 times, and then I'll do 4 kickouts. And then I'm gonna move in more into the adductors, right in the middle. Using my hips, swiveling, rolling out 4 times. And then you're gonna do those 4 kickouts. Your last part of the adductor will be in between the middle and your growing. And I just want you to roll it out. 4 rolls. And 4 kickouts. Okay, that was our frog leg. We're gonna come up. Remember, and we're gonna be doing the vastus lataris on this left side. So before I do that though, I'm gonna stop at the TFL muscle at the top of my big hip flexor. I'm gonna come down on it. My right leg's coming forward. Left leg's down. I'm using my toes and my elbows. I'm just gonna stick at the top here and roll that TFL out. Get my hips moving. Make them real loose. Nice roll, about 4 rolls is good. And if you have to make some adjustments because you're gonna roll from middle to the top again. Staying on that muscle, not the IT band. And the way I'm doing that is I'm leaning forward. Come to the middle, and I'll either do 2 knee bends or I'll do windshield wiper. I'll do 2 knee bends with this one. Murph is a client of mine, Murphy Ritter here, 4-legged friend, tends to join in sometimes. I'll have to adjust my elbows, and I'm gonna roll from middle to above my knee. 4 rolls, and then just come on up. Sorry, Murph. You're right on my pad. So, working at my thighs, wow. I really feel a difference. I'm really sitting on my heels. There was a point in time, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I couldn't touch my heels. I was coming down and there was space. And the more that I've done TriggerPoint, the more flexible I've gotten. And I just find myself amazed that I can go past my heels and set myself further down. So it really works, the flexibility that you have and you can develop with your hips and other joints of the body. So we covered the front. I want to show you how you can cover some of your hamstring. This is a fun little movement to get into. So we're going to use my right leg first. Still, I'm using the foam roller. I'm going to bring my right leg forward. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my roller underneath it, either side. And then I'm going to sit on the roller. And I'll work on getting that leg forward, that right leg forward. When I'm here, I can roll back and forth using my own body, and I'm rolling my hamstring at the very middle to top and covering a little bit of my glute actually too. So I'm rolling back and forth. If I have anything in my range that I can grab, I might use what I have and make a prop out of it and kind of really dig in to that hamstring. I can bring it to the outside and lean on the outside as I roll. I can bring it right in the middle, or I can come inside. So if you have a prop, you're welcome to use it. Otherwise, you can just use your own body to do it. You're welcome to straighten your leg out, and then you can work on that hamstring a little bit more. My left hand can come down for some compression and go back and forth there. Good. Now, let's come right off my knee, my heel. Think about where those positions are. My knee's out. I'm going to bring my heel towards my growing. Lift up. I'm coming up on my leg now. I'm going to move the roller to the side. Now, I'm going to get myself positioned. My left leg, I'm going to bring it on back. Ooh, this is feeling good on my adductors. Okay, I'm going to come down. I can use my books, or I can use my block, or I can use stacked hands. And I'm going to come down, and I'm getting this pose now that's really stretching the things that I've rolled out. My left leg straight, the top of my foot is on the floor. And you can stay here for about 30 seconds. If it's really bothering you, just rock your hips back and forth. That'll help relieve some of it and give you a little modification. What I do recommend, whatever level you're at, if you're using a block, stay there for about 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and see if you can go to another level. So if you were at this level, see if you can drop it to this level. If you're at this level, see if you can move it and stack your hands. And get yourself a little bit further. We're also opening up the hips with this pose. All right, we're gonna say it's been about 30 seconds. It's been close to it. I'm gonna come up, and I just come up on my knee, and I'm gonna switch legs. So my right leg's gonna come back. I'm gonna grab my foam roller and I'm gonna work it underneath. Straighten out my right leg here. Coming on it. Get myself adjusted. It's such an awkward thing to get into this pose. My left leg's in front of me. It can be in a 90-degree angle. And this is where I'm gonna use my hips and rocking north and south here across the roller. North and south in terms of the way that I'm doing it on the muscle. So I'm going with the grain of the muscle here. Working out my hamstring. Where it connects to the glutes, I may roll right where this connection is. I may straighten out my leg. Right leg comes down, or right arm comes down for some compression. Rolling back and forth. The great thing about nature is you can find things as you're teaching a class. Little doodle bug. We're gonna move it to the side. I got several clients, doodle bugs and Scottish Terriers. Back and forth we are going. Good. If you find a spot that's really tight and tender, just hang out on it for about 30 seconds. Bring your leg in, press down on it. If you got your prop and you want to use a prop, spend your time during this few moments of doing that, using that prop. I'm going to the outside of that hamstring, leaning in towards the middle, coming into the anterior side. Good. When you feel like you've got it completed, let's go ahead and let's work on getting that heel towards your growing. Get your knee out in front of you, come on your knee, roller to the side. Work on easing that right leg back. The heel of my left foot is in my growing. And my knees here. And I'm working on getting myself down. I can use props, my block, books, roller, if I want to put my head on that. Or I can stay right here, or come on down. And we're gonna stay here for like 30 minutes. Ta-da! Long pose. No, we're gonna be here for 30 seconds. If it's really bothering you, rock back and forth. We're really opening up the hips here, guys. One of the major complaints is hips and shoulders. Feeling the stretch in your adductors and some of your hamstrings. Also your glutes on that side. Give yourselves a few minutes and then we're going to come on up. I'm going to bring my right leg up. I'm going to spread those knees out. Connect my toes. And then I'm going to come back to what we call a child's pose. Finishing up, I'm doing both legs now. Toes are connected. Coming down. Trying to work on getting my chest and abdomen to the ground. You can stack your hands, or you can bring your hands out. We would probably want to be here for about 30 seconds in this pose. When you're here, see if you can push your hips in. You want to push your hips towards the earth. So I'm pushing towards the earth with my hips, opening them up. Let's take one hand, floor it, elbow to the sky. Other hand, bring ourselves up, knees together. Come back down on your heels if you can make it or close to it. How's that feel? Alrighty, we're gonna move up the kinetic chain. We're taking ourselves into our glutes, one of the largest muscles of the body. We're gonna work the glute, we're gonna roll it out, and then we're gonna start using that MB1 ball or the tennis ball. So make sure you've got that close by. If you don't have a ball, a tennis ball, just stick with the rolling, the foam rolling, and during this segment we do with the ball. Just take a pause, do a stretch, hang out, enjoy the scenery that I have here. If you can hear the music, enjoy that. I've got a fire behind me. Just focus on relaxing and getting us away from what's going on in the world right now. We're just going to take, this whole class is just bringing us back to just ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and take my roller. I'm going to shift to the side to show you what I'm doing. My foam roller, I'm going to put it on my right glute and come on it. I'm leaning towards the right. My left leg's coming up. You can take your right leg, you can place it in front of your, like your shin bone, or you can place it at the top of your knee, and you're gonna roll that glute. Back and forth. Get some good rolls in. And when you're ready, we're gonna shift sides. Then you're gonna go to your left glute. Coming down on that glute, I'm gonna actually have my right leg. You can either bring that, your foot in front of your shin or over the knee, and then just start to roll out that glute. So while we're rolling it out, we're hydrating the muscles. When we come off the compression, hydration rushes through. So does the immune system. Cleaning out the area, flushing out all that hydrogen and metabolic waste, pushing hydration at a cellular level into your muscles. So that's my rollout of my glute right now. If you have a ball, we're gonna come around and sit on the ball. So I'm gonna think like the pocket of my jeans. I'm gonna come on my right side, and I'm gonna put this in the pocket of my jeans, and then I'm gonna come sit on it, like really sit on it. So I'm gonna bring it on. Bring on it, bring on the compression, because now I'm right over that piriformis, which is right above that sciatica, and I'm gonna knead this tissue out, smooth out the muscle, hydrating the area. My left knee's gonna come up. I'm gonna get myself stable with an upright body, so I can expand my lungs better when I'm breathing, and I'm gonna go ahead and lift my leg up and out 4 times. I'll pause, bring that leg up. Take a nice deep breath in, and on my exhale, clam out. Breathe in, exhale. 4 clam outs. After your 4th clam out, I'll do some circles. I'm gonna circle it. It doesn't feel good sometimes. 4 one way, 4 the other. All right. Where's my companion dog when I need him? I'm in some pain over here. He's sitting over here on the outdoor furniture, watching. So now I'm gonna take it to the next glute. Murph, where are you when we need you, bud? All right, right leg's bent. Left leg straight. Making sure I've got myself upright, keeping my back upright, so I can have some good lung capacity. In and out that leg 4 times. Foot comes down. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, climb out. Get 4 of those in, and then see if you can do circles. Roll that ball 4 one way, and then rotate it 4 the opposite way, in the opposite direction. And then you can come off of it. All right, move to the side. All right, so that was our glutes. Now let's take it down, and we're gonna stay down on the mat. So I'm gonna actually get my roller. I'm gonna place my roller right where my ribs start. Right at the bra line, or a little bit below the bra line for women. My hands are gonna come behind my head to support. Come at an angle. Hips come up, and then we're gonna roll. shoulder blades. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Go over all the muscles in your back. Good. Relax. Breathe through it. My elbows are up to the sky. Make sure yours is up to the sky as well. The elbows are at the sky, and now I'm going to open them up. I'm a butterfly who just came out of my cocoon. And now I'm really expanded my upper back muscles. And I'm rolling those out. My feet are coming towards my bottom if I need to readjust. Let's pause at the shoulder blades. Lower your buttocks, elbows out, hands behind your head, and let's take that right elbow towards the hip, bring it up. Let's do a cross friction here, which is across the grain. It's like we're wiping the bugs off the windshield, taking beginning trigger points and scraping them away. Let's get about 4 or 5 of those done, and then I want you to take your hands that are holding your head up and make your head come back. Nice and slow, and come back up. My elbows are up to my sky with this pose, as you'll notice. And then let me roll back down, and then I'm going to rotate to my right side. Rollers right underneath the bra line, or 2 hands width below the armpit for men. So 1, flip it 1, and then 2. It'd be about 2 hands width below. I'm gonna do my lats. I'm on my side. My legs are comfortable as if I was sitting in this chair, like put my legs as if I'm sitting in a chair. Left hand's gonna grab the roller, and I'm going to actually roll using my hand to move the roller and using my body to roll my latissimus dorsi. It connects to the back of your tailbone, wraps around to your front, up to your front of your shoulder, your collarbone area, sternum. I'm rolling back and forth here, and then I'm going to drop my right hand, palm up to the sky, and I'm going to bring it in front of me and then overhead. Good. Come on down. Now I'm going to take that roller and put it right in my armpit now. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Roll. Get about 4 rolls in. And then let's go ahead and do some shoulder movement. If you can't go overhead, you go to where your limitation is. That would be your modification. So you could have the arm in front of you, and maybe my limitation's here. That's where I go, and then I come back down. Like that. Alrighty, we're going to come right off. And you're going to switch sides. You can either roll over on the roller to switch sides. I'm just going to do this to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. Coming down, 2 hands width below the armpit, or about the bra line for girls. Okay, let's get it going. Right hand's going to grab that roller, and I'm going to roll. You want to get 4 or 5 good rolls in, and then that hand palm up on that left side and bring it right in front of us, and bring it over. About 4 or 5 times is plenty. And then we're going to dig it into the armpit. Come down on it and do the same thing. Rolling, using that right hand, back and forth. And then remember, if you have some range of motion issues in your shoulder, go as far as your range of motion takes you. You want to get 4 of these in if you can. And then let's go ahead and come on up. Okay, we're going to cover the front of our shoulder, my pec major and pec minor. So I'm going to use my block, or I'm going to be sitting on some books, and then I've got my MB1 ball. I'm going to place the block underneath my bottom and come into a position that we used to call Indian style, or we can do crisscross applesauce. Nice, comfortable position, sitting upright. What happens right here is when we're on our phones and we're driving on the computers, we draw ourselves forward. This muscle here shuts down. It's not able to stretch out fully. And then we're going to end up having issues as we get older. We're just going to start doing this more and more, and we'll end up getting kyphosis. in our back, which is a hump in the upper back you see in some elderly people. That's going to come even sooner if we don't take care of ourselves. So let's work on our pec major and minor. Let's open them up, stretch the muscle. Everything we're covering, we're pulling the fascia off the muscle, pulling it off, allowing hydration to come through, and the fascia and the muscle are working interdependently, back and forth, a slide and glide movement. So that's what we're doing with this class. So I've got my MB1 ball or your tennis ball. Take the hand out, think about the palm of your hand, hinge at the elbow, and where the palm lands, I'm tucking in that ball and making it a pocket. Place my other hand on top, elbows out, press in, and then I'm gonna do what they call a pivot. 4 pivots. After my 4th pivot, I'm gonna roll it east and west while I'm doing compression. Opening up the shoulder, back and forth. Let's pause in the middle, pivot, and roll it back and forth. Good. And we're gonna come off and we're gonna take it to the other side. So my left hand comes out, thinking about where that palm is. I'm hinging at the elbow. Where it lands, I will place the ball here in the pocket. Hand comes on top, press, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pivot back and forth 4 times. And then we're gonna roll it east and west, back and forth. My elbows are up. And let's pause again in the middle, pivot. And then roll it back and forth. Okay, we're gonna come off of it. My shoulders are already pulling up and back. I'm already an inch taller. I'm sitting upright, I have really good posture, and it's because I've really kneaded out those muscles. And when you knead them out, you're really stretching them out. So another thing we can do for shoulder, since we've got a ball and a block, is we can take our block and we can place our ball on top, right here. On the inside, it's fine. I'm gonna come down on it. I'm gonna actually lay down and put that ball kind of right in my pec minor area, right about right here. So I'm gonna come down, get it positioned right in that pec minor. Woo! That feels good. Okay. My hand's goalpost out. If I can take it overhead, I'm gonna bring my hand up and then bring it down. If you're not able to do that, you just rest here on this ball. But if you can do a motion, you're gonna go up and then down 4 times. You can also end up taking your arms straight out and just come on down like a reverse snow angel. And here's my client again. We'll go 4 of those. Good. Hey, Murph. All right, so we're gonna take it to the left side. Come on the mat, Murph. Join us, join in. Tell everybody hi. All right, here we go. Find my position. Alrighty, I'm here, and I'm gonna either goalpost my hand out, come up and down 4 times, or I'm gonna sit and rest because I can't bring my arms that far out, or I can actually do a snow angel 4 times. If I can't bring my arms up here, I can do a snow angel here. Go back and forth here, it's totally fine. Back and forth, great. All right, then you're gonna actually, we're gonna roll over. So I'm gonna place this ball in my right trap or my right shoulder. So when you have someone coming behind you giving you a massage, it's where their thumbs would be. So I'm gonna place this ball in my right trap, and that's where I kind of want you to place yours. I'm gonna come sideways here. Right trap, tucking it in. Oh gosh, yep, got some tension, it's tight. We're just working on one side right now. So once it's in there, you might want to just pause, find something to distract you. Luckily, I've got this client here that's a good distraction. And I'm just going to sit on it just for a little while and enjoy what it's doing to my muscle. It's plowing the muscle. And then I can reach my arm over and I can bring it back. And then I can also take my arm and goal post it out and take it up. When I take my arm up, I feel like I'm stretching and grabbing something. And you'll feel that ball digging in the muscle fibers. We're pulling the muscle fibers out of the knot or the trigger point that you have. You've got like a knot in your hair. We're basically working out each hair individually, so each muscle fiber individually. Pause here. You can even bring your arm up to the sky and take it overhead. Hold it overhead for a few seconds. An option can be to take it up to the sky and move it out to the side spine. You can lean into the ball. So I can lean into it and let it do its thing. We're pulling each muscle fiber out of the knot, and so it can work on its own without having to rely on having to work with itself and the neighbor next to it. So we want it to be working on its own, coming off. So there's things I can do here in my shoulder on one side that I can work with one tennis ball. You can also bring your feet closer to your bottom and lift up into a bridge pose. Now you're really going to feel a lot more compression. And with that, you can do various movements. So this is all going to be up to what you can tolerate and what you feel like doing here with your shoulders. I'm giving you different options. Try it out. Take it overhead. If you can tolerate that, you may want to goal post, bring it up and over. Come back down. So we're only working with one ball. In my TriggerPoint classes, we usually do 2 balls, and we're doing both sides. We have a lot more different movements we can use. But a lot of times, we're just working from what we have at home. And a lot of times, we can find that one tennis ball tucked in somewhere in the garage or in a cubby. So that was my right side. And I'm going to go ahead and turn myself this way to work on my left. Tucking it in on my shoulder. Pausing, letting it do its thing. You can bring your arm over. Just so happens I can give you a little love in here, Murph. And I can bring the arm back. You can bring the arm up and bring it down. Working on that shoulder mobility. You can take your arm out to the side and work it up. Doing various movements here. You can choose what you like to do and just play with it. Work on what you need. You can have it up and bring it over. I can lean into it and really enjoy removing that deep-rooted tension in this area. Coming up off of it. Putting my feet close to my bottom, doing that bridge pose. And at the bridge pose, you can do the same movements. You can come up and over. If you're able to tolerate it, you can go out to the side if you can't go overhead. And go a little bit slower out to the side. Stay with that movement if that feels good. You can goal post and come up and over. And try that pose out. Meanwhile, keeping those hips up. So there's various things you can do here. And eventually we're going to lower ourselves down. Elbows come down. You can remove the ball. Great. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to finish off with some really relaxation with our head and neck. So I'm removing the ball, and I'm going to come down. And I'm tucking the roller in the nape of my head here. And when I hear, it makes my chin come to my chest, and I'm going to roll back and forth with my head. I'm just slowly shaking my head. Yes. Come here, Murph. How about Bubba? Come on over here. Shaking my head, yes. And then I'm going to shake my head, no. But I'm going to do a short no. I'm just like bouncing it off as if I have a rubber wall here. Bouncing it back and forth. I'm going slow enough to where I don't get dizzy. Let's pause, and now I want you to go say no again, but I want you to go further out. So I want you to take it further to the left and further to the right and go back and forth. Let's pause, neutral head. Let's take the nose, it's a pencil, and let's draw a figure 8. You might hear some snap, crackle, and pops in your neck. Totally normal, it's just air coming, the air that was compressed in there is coming out. You can also take your nose and take it all the way over to the right and hold it. Do a good neck stretch here. When you're there, bring that chin down to your right shoulder and hold it. Bring your chin off the shoulder. Slowly, for a 10-second count, come over to the left side and do the same thing on the left. Take your ear that's on the roller and then take your chin and bring it down to the shoulder. Hold it there. Release your chin. Come on back. Now let's go ahead and finish our last bit of treatment on our body. So I'm actually going to remove the roller. I'm going to roll on my right side. And I'm just going to rest here. Rest here for as long as you need, and then you're going to slowly work your way up to a seated position. And then with that seated position, you're going to slowly work yourself up to a standing position. I hope you enjoyed the recovery class, and I hope you enjoyed the setting that we're in, and my sidekick that was over here. And may you have a great rest of your day. I hope this class brings you some calmness and some working out those muscles so you're not as tense in some areas. Thank you so much for joining the class.